Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna. For those of you who are new here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. In today's video, we're doing week 2 of the Comfy Cozy collab hosted by Poetspice. And if that is of interest to you, please stay tuned. All right, guys, so this is week 2 of the Comfy Cozy collab 2021 hosted by Poetspice. It's sort of a collab hop. In my description box, there will be a bunch of channels listed that are participating in this as well. I highly recommend that you go check them out. They are crafters and they make some exquisite items. So I definitely recommend you check them out. I really want to craft now. Oh, I really want to craft now. If it weren't for this whole working for a living kind of thing. Anyway, for me, for this week, we're in another journal. And I don't know if I conveyed it properly in the first video, but for me, comfy and cozy is more of a state of mind. I live in Hawaii, so it never gets to the point where you need to bundle up, you need to get comfy, you need to get cozy. It's been hot in the 80s and 90s on Thanksgiving. It's been in the 90s on Christmas. So living in paradise has its pluses, but it also has its minuses. So for me, comfy and cozy is more of a feeling or evoking a feeling. So last week, what I wanted to convey was the feeling of reading and how that makes me just feel warm and snuggly, which for me is comfy and cozy. And in this week, we're going to be talking about my creative journal. And journaling and creative journaling specifically definitely makes me feel warm and snuggly, which evokes that feeling of comfy and cozy. It's my A5 Archer in Olive. It is a Neapolitan notebook, meaning it has white craft and black paper. I did purchase this from Archer and Olive. I did cover it in a Midori A5 cover. I do have to jerry rig it so that it actually fits this so that I can use it. I never use the pen loop, so that's not problematic for me. I do know that Archer and Olive has their own clear covers, but these are a lot cheaper. It doesn't take that much to fix it to work. And I already have these because I always keep these on stock because A5 is my favorite size of a journal. Now, I would not have chosen a white journal because it can get dirty a lot faster, but because I have the cover, and I'm sorry for the glare if there is any, then I'm not too worried about that. But the Neapolitan didn't come in any other design that I liked. I think the rest of them were really dark, and I have a couple of black journals and I didn't want to get confused. Now, this is truly a creative journal because the different sections mean different things to me. And the last thing I'll be showing you really kind of ties into that comfy cozy. So this first section I'm using as a place to practice some perspective drawing. I am watching videos from Circle Line Art School here on YouTube. I'll link the channel below. This is the only one I've done, and it's really simple. And it's also really difficult. So it's something that I enjoy. I seem to enjoy watching more than I like doing, but I do want to fill up this first section with just different tutorials that he has done on his channel, because I do find it relaxing. It's just sometimes some of the line and the perspective just gets a bit wonky for me. So yeah, that's what this first section is. And then the next 3 sections, for some of you, might drive you a little batty because there definitely is a thought process to it. But for you guys, it might seem like it's a crazy thought process. I had seen a video on Skillshare. I did sign up for the annual subscription, I guess you could call it, or no, membership. And I watched a video. I think her name was Mimi Cho. I'll have to look back and I'll insert it in the description box. I do have a Skillshare referral link if you're interested in it, but she was doing an illustrated journal. Now for me, I don't find that I'm a very interesting person. I'm actually rather boring. All of my days seem to look like all of my other days, but there is variances to my days. I don't live one endless loop of Groundhog Day. And so I liked the idea of doing an illustrated journal, not to hide highlight all the big events or the exciting things that people seem to be doing on social media, but just the little things that go on in my life that just might be interesting. And the way that I have been doing this is I've been using the highlight reel originally from my Haponichi and now from my Workstology, where every day I write the highlights of the day. It doesn't have to be exciting. It doesn't have to even be positive. It just has to be the standout things for the day. And I like looking at that because then I can remember, one, that's what happened that day, but also I can use that in here. So for this first week, I kind of messed up. So I thought it was February, but it wasn't. It was March. I'm not someone who's going to get too fussed or too precious about mistakes. They happen. This is not going up in a museum, so I don't need it to be perfect. But I liked how it came out, and I liked using my supplies, and I actually really do enjoy doodling. So just coming up with different doodles, and just FYI, I have to look online and try to replicate things that I see because I can't think of how to draw things just on my own, but I kind of like that format. Now, where it's going to probably drive you guys crazy is the next week. So this was the 1st through the 7th of March. The next week does not happen until here. I did not want to wait until I finished a section before going to the next section. So I just skipped. So this is March 8th through the 14th. I love how this pops. These were some things that were highlights for the week. And then I did the same thing for the 3rd week here. And again, I like being able to use the different colored papers. It does make it a bit unwieldy, especially if you're following it chronologically. But for me, once these 3 sections are done, then it's just a visual of the week. I don't need them to go in order. If I wanted to look at what actually happened, I could go back to my highlight reel. So this is really just an artistic endeavor. And then the next one jumps back and it goes to here, and then the next one goes to here, and then the final one, because I have not kept up with this, goes to here. Now this one I actually finished last night because I did wanted to finish this white section so I could jump back to the craft section, and because I have my highlight reel I could actually see, okay, these were the highlights that I kind of want to focus on. I think going forward I might do this on a monthly basis, which might make this a lot more manageable than trying to do this weekly. But I love coming up with a color palette, or I love putting the design down first and then figuring out where to go from there. I actually started with this. I did not expect it to be that colorful, and I thought, well, let's just bring the rest of the color into the rest of the journal. Again, it's about the doodling. It's about focusing on some things. It doesn't always mean focusing on positive, focusing on amazing big things. At that point, I was still playing Stardew on my own. I had not done a co-op with Andy yet. I was still feeling kind of bleh because it was a vacation mode, and I always hate coming back from a vacation mode. But I did have some macaroons from Latour, which is a small bakery here in the islands, and I love those, and so that was happy. I also actually really enjoyed this movie. And so I love seeing the visual representation. And this one, this week was actually a really rough week for me at work. There was an incident that happened at work, and I like seeing this. It makes me remember it very clearly, but I also don't feel as traumatized by it. And so I like seeing that more so than even reading words on a page. I love the look of words on a page, but I don't generally actually reread things unless it's my highlight reel and I need to figure out what happened that week. But otherwise, these pictures tell me exactly what it is that I need to know or that I want to remember from any particular week, or maybe going forward any particular month. Now, the last thing I wanted to show you guys, I also worked on last night, and that's this here. Now, this back section, I did some testers on of the Archer and Olive acrylograph pens, and then some other pens I thought that might work out. So I wasn't actually sure what to do because I'm not swatching everything I have I just am not into that. And so I did this 2-page spread, which is really about my birthday this year, as well as happy mail that I've received from both Poetspice and my friend Andy. And this encompasses a lot of elements from that happy mail. So this is a tag that my friend Poet had made for me, and I did a little bit of journaling. She had sent a gift card to Etsy, and so I was able to pick up a couple of coloring books from Etsy because of her, and I'll always remember that when I work in them. My friend Andy had sent me some really cute items from Amazon, and then she'd also sent me an Etsy gift card, and so I was able to pick up this biblio. This is the shop, this one right here from Katie Knudsen, and Katie had included these 2 stickers in there. These are stickers Andy had sent me in the past, and then this was the Wildwood Soiree packaging that I included here, and it kind of ties the 2 pages together. So you'd think that they always were meant to go together, but no, it's just bringing the elements so that they look like they go together. And I love having this back here because I get to memorialize some of the elements that specifically make me think of my friends, but also I get to journal so that I don't forget things. Now, I've also written on the coloring books that I was able to get from them that these were for my friends, but for me, that feeling of just having developed friendships here on YouTube, because these ladies I've never actually met in real life, but we chat all the time, either via text or via DMs. This ties in for me for this collaboration is just that feeling of using my creative journal to express feelings and emotion, but also conveying, that friendship is also very much difficult for me. And so I'm thankful whenever I have such amazing friends in my life who just care about me, and not because they send me stuff. That's irrelevant. That's the bonus icing on top of the cupcake. They're the cupcakes and they're delicious. Oh, that went weird. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. Do you guys do creative journaling? I'd love to know in the comments below. All right. Well, as always, aloha.